Alright, I think I should be live right now. Am I live? Am I live? Yeah, it is live. Okay, I got about 20 seconds of me being live. Alright, awesome guys. Welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for stopping by. And today we're going to discuss how to do Mario.c the less challenge. So I want to do this in order. It's week one. I'm very happy and grateful that I ended up completing week zero's project, the Scratch project, aka Thanos Revenge. Please, please, if you haven't played, I really worked hard on it, and I just hope that someone out there would enjoy it as much as I did. And now, as you can see, I have written absolutely nothing here. Nothing, nothing, nothing at all. Not even I haven't even written the libraries for this C file. So, I haven't even read the challenge either. So, why don't we do that first? Okay. So, as you guys could see, I'm going to start with the Mario less. Let me put on a timer right now. That way I can keep myself accountable, make sure that there's nobody texting me. Okay, cool. So I'm using, by the way, a Focus app. I can't really remember what this one's called, but it's helping me a lot lately to make sure that I'm actually staying on track. I have a bad habit of really just going all over the place, and I don't like that. I don't mean to do it on purpose, but yeah, that's practically what's going on. Okay, let's see. So as you can see, I already did all this stuff. I'm not gonna go over through the how to set up the what's it called, the VS Code settings. I'm gonna do it within my own computer locally, rather than relying on a browser. I really just enjoy, this style. But of course, like it says right here on the CS50 website, feel free to do what you want to do with it, as far as like your preferences go. Okay, so the coolest thing I've learned so far, which I'm surprised that they haven't even discussed in the shorts, was this Linux command right here. It's pretty dope because check this out. Let me just put this here for you guys. So the wget, we get, however it's pronounced, yeah, it's pretty much a pretty sick command where you have an option of what you want to do with the URL. Let's say you want to have it download in the background, or all these other things. You have these options to do what you want to do with that. But the main thing about this is that it literally goes to a website, downloads it, and pastes it into the directory or whatever like location you're at within your your terminal. Pretty sick, honestly. I could see a lot of cool things happening with this utility that honestly has caught my attention. All right, that's the only thing I wanted to mention. Now let's go into talking about this. Okay, so this is the Mario less. um, So it says right over here, okay, we did this, we opened up the file, as you can see right here. Um, it says let's create the pyramid in C using hashes for bricks as is shown below. Okay, each hash, I guess the pseudocode text, well, as the file says, this is where we're going to pseudocode our stuff. Okay, and not only am I going to use that text file, but I'm also going to be writing on my graph paper here. I'm a big fan of having pieces of paper to write when it comes to doing challenges. So yeah, let's see. The program we'll write will be called Mario. Okay. And let's allow the users to decide just how tall the pyramid should be by first prompting them for a positive integer number. Cool, so hint number one. So to do list for Mario.c for Mario less. So what do we know? Oh my god, what's going on here? Okay, let's do this. Okay, first prompting them for a prompt user for a positive integer number. a positive integer between 1 and 8 inclusive. Okay. Off the bat, I already see that this is going to be a do while loop. Let's go back and look into what that even means. So a do while loop. Okay. Why do I say do while loop? Because we wanted to prompt the user and ask them at least once, right? At least one time for a positive number. If the positive if the user does not give a number that is 1 or 8, 1 through 8, redo the loop. So right off the bat, this is gonna be a do while loop. Cool. So the next thing, let's figure out what the next thing is gonna be. Okay. Here how the program might work. If the user inputs 8 when prompted, height 8. Okay. So okay. The user will be printing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I'm seeing right here a little pattern. I know that when these lines are being printed out, this, you could say, since we're starting at index 0, right? This could be row 0, row 1, row 2, row 3, row 4, row 5, row 6, row 7. Total of 8 since we're starting at 0, remember? What I'm noticing is that this is like this is where I'm gonna get stuck. This is where, you know, being real on the live stream gets a little bit challenging. Okay, so what I'm noticing here is that it's almost like n minus a number. Like for row 0, we want to just print 7 spaces and 1 hash. So let me just write this down actually. So row 0 will equal how many okay, so yeah, how many spaces, hashes. We want to make sure that there's, for row 0, when it's a correct number, it prints out at least 1 hash, with the rest of it being the spaces. So it's going to be n minus 1 spaces, n being the input of the user. So we know for a fact that it's going to be that many spaces, and from this number we want to print out, okay, damn, tricky. This is where it gets interesting. Okay. And if it's 1, we don't even want to have a space. Okay. When user inputs 1, there is no spaces with the return hash. Okay. So for sure, like I said, row 0 would be n minus 1 spaces. Right? I for sure know that for a fact. Okay. And it might be helpful too to look into this video. Hopefully it's, God,
Mario,
it's pretty
your
long.
task is going to be to recreate a pyramid from Super Mario Brothers. So in the game Super Mario Brothers, you might recall a pyramid that looks a little something like this, and your task in this problem is going to be to recreate that pyramid using hashes on the screen. So the pyramid, for example, might look a little something like this. And to make things a little bit more interesting, we're going to let the user choose how tall or short they want the pyramid to be.
I'm gonna do this. I don't really want any hints right now. If I do get stuck, you know, I will ask. Okay, so kind of telling me the steps right here. So first wants me to prompt user, building the opposite, and then right aligned with dots. Alright. So for sure what I want to do is I want to include standard.io, and then I also want to include CS50.h. Since I know that int main void, what I also want to do as well is that I want to make sure that this is even running, because when I would do these things, right, I was using the cloud web server. So first I want to make sure that I could even do these things here. Okay. Learn Mario. Okay, well that worked just as I wanted to, but since I have to do this perfectly, let's run this again. Hello world, cool. Alright, so step one is working. We have the file running here. Now I need to look into the manual. So I want to get an integer, right? So check this out. Let's how do you, okay, prompt user for a number that is anywhere from 1 to 8. Cool. So how do I want to do that? I want to, so this is my entry point, right? This is the entry point for the file. So whenever I do /file name.c, in this case being Mario.c, this is the entry point. So I know for a fact that I want to have an integer number, and I want to say do number equals get int. Did they want it specific? Like, do they want, okay, so they just said get in height. While number is less than 1, or remember from the notes from the shorts that we have these what is a damn name for these again? Let me see. They're not conditionals. What are they called again? Let me see. These are called, what are they called, dude? Conditional statements, switch statements, Boolean expressions, the or Boolean expression, Jesus. I want to ask, I want to ask the user to run this doblock if they give me a number less than 1 or a number that is greater than 8. Alright then, so how would I work this out? Let's see. Printf. We know that we could do this. User number. And we're gonna put number here. Alright. And we're going to check this out and hopefully it runs. What does it say here? Expected a semicolon. Okay, cool. We did it. Let's see it. Height. Do we want it to be 0? Height, we want it to be 9. Does it accept 1? It does accept 1. Okay. Alright, let's see this. Let's run this again. Does it accept a number like, no. Cancel. Does this accept a number like 8? It does. Does it accept a number like 5? It does. Okay, cool. Does it accept a number like -1? No, it doesn't. Doesn't accept the integers. Cool. So we figured out how to get the number. Now what we gotta do is now what we gotta do, now that your program is hopefully accepting input as prescribed, yes, it's time for another step. It turns out it's a bit easier to build a left-aligned fairy than a right at the below. Okay. So this number users int number will dictate how many rows I'll print. So what do we remember from the notes, guys? From the shorts, I remember that we have use cases for loops, right? We have the while loop, which is used when you want to loop in repeat an unknown number of times. So I know that a while loop isn't gonna be necessary here because I already know how many times I want this loop to run as far as like the amount of hashes and rows I want to print out. And a do while loop, I already know it's not gonna be a do while loop because I already have what I wanted from the user, right? I'm not trying to just run this one time or an unknown number at a time. I want something that's specific, right? So what does that mean? That means that I'm gonna go for the for loop. Now let's go back into seeing how the for loops work out. Okay. For in I equals 0, and I is less than the number I plus plus. Okay. What do we want to do? We want to, let's just see what this does for right now. What I'm assuming this is going to do is that it's going to print out X number of rows from the user. So let's say the user inputs a number anywhere from 1 through 8. It's going to print out that many rows. So let's run this right now. Let's say I want 8 rows. Check this out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, we're getting a little bit closer now. Stay with me here, because I'm literally doing this live without having any background whatsoever. So we know for a fact that this is this for to create rows. Okay. So we're at the building the pyramid part. Building the pyramid. So what we want to do is do a left aligned pyramid first. once I have the left aligned, print a right. Right aligned pyramid second. Okay. Okay, let's see. So I know for a fact this, right guys? I know for a fact that, I want to make sure that I'm cool. I know for a fact this is what's going on right now. So what is happening here is that I am printing out the correct amount of rows, but now my problem is creating the columns, right? So how do we create columns here? If we see, we have one loop that is doing the rows. That's great. But I need to like add something within that loop to focus on the column creations using the correct amount of numbers and the correct amount of columns that is being like the amount of columns that is going to be made is going to be determined by the input of the user. We know that for a fact. And we also know that same way how we used a for loop to have a predetermined amount of times we want something to run versus the do loop and the while loop, that we have to create another for loop. So at least that's what I'm thinking about right now. So why don't we try this out? Okay, so convention would be here to do another for loop int j. I don't know if this is gonna work or not, so have patience with me. J plus plus. So the reason I added 0 is because I want to start at 0, to start at 0, 0 index. I guess that's how I'm looking at it right now. Like, let me see if I could find like a graph here. Graph index website create. No, okay. It's probably gonna waste a lot of time that we do not have to waste. So let's just use this for an example here. This, I would think of it like 0.000. Let's say x, right? The x line, the row is 0, and y, maybe even better, y would be up and down. 0, 0, 0, 0 plus 1, 1, negative 1, 0, negative 2, 1, negative 2, 2, negative 2, like pinpointing them is what I'm trying to say here. Okay, and we know that the algorithm here, what is this pyramid telling us right now? So for row 0, we wanted to print out n minus 1. So, let's just see what this runs. Whatever. Let's see. Hi, so that we won't make it too complicated. Wait, what? The hell is this? Okay, that was not what I expected. Let's see again. 3. What's going on here? What the hell's going on right here? Hold up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It's almost like doubling by next. I'm doing like a exponent of 2, a power of 2 for the. This would be, hold up, n2. Okay. It's doubling my results right now. And it's doubling my results because I had that new line printed there. Instead, what if I were to put it right over here? Now, it's gonna get interesting. Now it should actually do what I want it to do. Oh my god, what did I do wrong? I didn't use the correct freaking... I didn't use the correct backslash character. Okay. Alright, kind of what we want, right? Kind of what we want. So we know that the inside of this for loop where it says J, we know that we are printing, making the right amount of columns. The thing is, how, for each row, how do we print the correct amount of hashes? That's the question of the day. How do we make the correct amount of hashes? We need to create an algorithm, for sure. Something that is going to... I know that J is increasing. How do I do this? So what's going on in my head right now, I'm thinking about how do I make J, integer J, as the number I'm going to use to tell me to print this many hashes. That would mean that I would need to change it to 1 and increase that value somehow. As long as number is greater than J. Let's say that number is 3 and J is 1. Let's see the manual. What math do I have here? Calculate the ceiling. Strings. Well, that's not what well, this is for the less comfortable, but it should be should help me figure this out. Okay, now we're just going through a freaking long ass list of stuff that we probably do not need right now. Okay. What would happen if I do this? Nothing. Nothing really changes here. Okay, this creates the hashes. I need some, so okay. Since this is controlling the columns, I need this to I need an algorithm that is going to use the value of I and the value of j to give me what I'm looking for. So let's see, values, so the integers I, integer j. Integer i's are dedicated for the rows. Integer j is dedicated for the columns. So how do I increment? I need to increment the amount of columns. Like increment columns by 1. That's what I need to do here. So using the knowledge I have, let's say that I have an example that is example number equals 3. Do I print this, this, this? That's all I'm looking for, right? So as long as j is less than number minus I minus 1. Say it's 3 minus 0 minus 1. I'm going to print out 2. 2. 2. 3 minus 2, it's 1. Okay, so let's say number's 3, I is 0. 3 minus 0 is 3, minus 1, it's 2. Okay. Now let's say it's 1 and 1. Okay, 3 minus 1 is 2. Minus 1 is 1. So is 1 less than 1? No. I think this is it. Hold up, let's see. Let's see. Interesting. Well, it gave me different results than what I expected, but it's something. It's something. Alright. My algorithm is playing games right now. And if I were to do the opposite, as long as no. Let's see. Let's see. This is where I'm gonna start drawing stuff out on my graph paper here. I might be silent for a while, but don't worry. I'm trying to figure this out, just like everyone else here. So let's see. I'm gonna just stick with a small number and break it down. This is row 0, row 0, row 1, row 2. Input equals 3. So for row 0, it's almost like I'm saying 3 minus 2 equals 1 hash. 3 minus 1 equals 2 hashes. 3 minus 0 equals 3 hashes. So I need to make a number that's 3 minus n. N is decreasing. Okay, so the only way I actually see this working out is if I do an algorithm like this, because I want to start. Pretty much, this is what I ended up writing down on my piece of paper right now. Let's say input equals number equals 3, right? I know for a fact that row 0 equals row 0, how many hashes row 0 is going to have 1 hash, row 1 is going to have 2 hashes, and row 2 is going to have 3 hashes. The only numbers in my control are number, I, and j. I know that I have the correct number of for the amount of rows I want. No need to change. No need to change I. So that means that I need to mess with the j variable to give me the right amount of columns. Okay. So we know that number's 3, right? 3 minus what equals 2? Equals 1. My bad. 3 minus what equals 2? 3 minus what equals 3? Question mark equals 2. Let me just copy this here. One, 0. Alright? So, that being said, question mark is, so that being said, the way how my mind is thinking right now, it's that j is going to equal number minus 1. Hold up. 3. So the first row and the first column is going to give me 3 minus. So I have to, besides increasing, I need to decrease the value of j. So check this out, y'all. Check this out. Three minus 1, so let's say is 2 less than 3. Yes. Hold up. What the? Hold up. I'm almost there. I'm almost there. I need to make sure that my Boolean logic is correct though. Because right now it looks like it's going to be running infinite. Three, 2. 2 is less than 3. Yes. Down. But where's, I need a breakpoint for this. One is less than number. Yes. Boom. 1 is less than 3. Yes. And 0 is less than 3. Yes. And I wanted to stop right there. Two is less than 3, yes. What the hell am I doing? Okay. Very tricky. You know what? Let's just run the code. Let's just run the code. Let's just run it. Let's just see what it's gonna give me. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Okay, that was not it. Obviously my logic is flawed. Okay. J minus number So I'm creating an infinite loop right now, which is not what I want. Let me think this through, guys. I'm sorry if, like, let me just run my train of thought here. I'm gonna delete all these notes as well. That way I could just focus on what really matters. I also want to make sure that... What the hell? How is that? That's not it. Okay. That is happening because I am subtracting 1, and it's so that loop is happening because I'm always subtracting. I'm making a forever loop because this is always going to be less than number. I understand. As long as j is equal to number, j greater than or equal to number, less than or equal to number. It is. It will always be. just need to consider the logic for Boolean expression for loop. I guess the question is, how do I make this run one time for the first row, and then another time, 2 times for the second, and then 3. This number as long as number is less than j, as long as j is less than, okay, maybe, you know what would even be better? Row, and then we just use column. And what would be even way better is if we just write these just add all these variables up here and figure this out. Okay. For row equals 0 and I is less than the number what the user inputted, you add a row. This works. As long as column equals number how do I get 2? How do I get 1 minus 2 minus 1? Why do I want to add this number 1 so bad? Dude, I'm stuck. Oh my god. Alright. I'm pretty stuck right now. But it's okay. I'll figure this out. I'm gonna just do a similar thing that I did before and figure it out. I just want to get back to how it once was. I want to make sure that I'm able to print out the correct amount of columns here. Okay. Okay, currently how's this working? 0 is less than 3. Yes. Print at 1. Is 0. Now it's 1 less than 3. Yes. Print that. Is 2 less than 3. Print this. Is 3 less than 3? No. For some reason, my mind is telling me this. This is the number I want to start, right? So like, because row 0, like I said before, is number minus num minus 1 equals the freaking equals 1. But how do I translate this to, like, because now I have to think about, okay, row 1, num minus 1 equals 2. And in this instance, num is 3 minus 2 equals 1. 1 hash. Minus 1 equals 2 hashes. Three equals 3 minus 0 equals 3 hashes. I know this for a fact, that this is the algorithm I'm trying to figure out here. My problem is the translation of this answer that I haven't been able to figure out yet. Give me a second, let me see how we're doing on time. We're doing good on time. Okay. What number am I fucking looking into though, dude? I guess like, I'm inclined to do the same mistake I did of subtracting from column, because I'm seeing here that this number is being subtracted. But the thing is, I'm still confused on how I'm going to break this loop right over here. So that's the tricky part that I'm trying to see how the hell to do this, man. this is coding, and I'm glad I'm actually recording this because I know in the future I'm gonna look back into this and be like, I see how far I've came. But right now, it does not feel that way. It feels like I'm pretty stuck. Number minus 3. Okay, how do I get this fucking result? How do I get this result right here? Number minus 2 equals 1. How do I make this for loop at first just run one time? How do I make this condition here run one time? Three minus 1. Let's see. For my current code, what is 3 minus 1 equals 2? Is 2 less than num? True. It's going to print this. And it's going to make column equal 3 minus 1 equals 2. Column equals 3 minus 1 plus 1 equals 3. Is 3 less than 3? False. That's going to reset this. Let's see. What do you know? Okay, so what was going on in my head was this right now. I did it. Thank God. Let's just test it out again. Alright, seems like it's working. Cool. Hide 8. Boom. Alright, let's just delete everything right here and talk about this for a little bit because it was kind of tricky. So I knew when I didn't have this, I knew when I did not have this, right, the plus row part, that yes, I will be able to print out just one hash. Look, if I'm just gonna print out one hash. I don't want just one hash. I want to be able to control the Boolean expression within the for loop. I want to control that expression to be updating per column, right? Or I'm sorry, per row, and use that number of the row to switch up and make a flexible Boolean expression for my for loop. So this is why, as you can see right here, it will work the first time, right? Because 3 minus 1 equals 2. 2 is less than number. Yes, it is. And you print out 1 hash. But when you go for the next one, since number hasn't changed in the expression over here, 3 minus 1, 3 minus 1, oh, I'm sorry, this is still talking about this right here. So 3 minus 1 plus 1, because we added 1 here to the column, is going to be 3. Is 3 less than 3? False. So this part right here, since this part, the number, this right here, wasn't flexible, I knew that when I was going to add another row, it's going to say something like number 3 minus 1 equals 2. It's going to just print out 1. It's not changing anything at all. So I needed to make it flexible enough where I know that row 0 is not going to be affected because this is going to be true. But now that I have, hold up, what is, now that I have this going on, right, number minus 1 equals 3. 3 is less than number plus 0, which is true. It's going to be 3. And this is going to be 3 plus 1 equals 4. Now, is 3 less than 4? True. Now what happens here? We print out 2 columns. Now, column increments by now equals 4 because it incremented by 1. Now it's going to say, is 4 less than 4? And the answer is going to be false. So this is if we're running 2. I hope it makes some sort of sense here. Okay. Right. Okay, cool. Awesome. So we did part 1 of the left-aligned pyramid, and it was pretty damn tricky, I'm not gonna lie. That took me an hour to do. God damn. But I'm learning. That's the most important part. I'm learning. Let's see. I'm gonna pause for a little bit before I get back to this. Oh man. Oh my god, that was a very interesting challenge that I need to wrap my head around. Let me just take a 5-minute break right now. I'll be back to it right. Give me a second. I'm going to turn off my camera. Alright, you guys, I'm back right now. Let's figure out the second part to this problem. Ignore the background. It's okay. Okay. So now what's going on in my head is that I need 2 for loops inside this. This is for the spaces, for the hashes, and I need another one for the spaces. Okay, so since we want to make this right aligned, we want to print out how many spaces per. Okay, now let's focus on spaces. How do we determine the number of spaces that we need? Actually, another thing, before I even get started on writing this shit, okay, so that's working. Okay, so now, let me just refresh, why is this working again? Okay, so, assuming we're following this exact example right here, number equals 3, column is 3 minus 1, which is 2, so, let's focus here. Row 0. Equals. We're gonna do column equals 3 minus 1, which is 2. 2 is less than 3 plus 0, which is 3. It's true. Colon plus plus. So what does this do? As of right now, it prints out this. Colon equals 2. And wait. No, it's not. It's because we already initialized it. So colon equals 3. Plus 3 less than 3. False. Cool. Row 1. Colon equals 2. 2 is less than 3. That's true. Colon plus plus. Colon plus plus. So we print out 1. Colon equals. No, this is wrong. It's 4. Because now we're at row 1, which is row plus number, input number. So 3. Okay, so now we know that this is 3. And false. Okay, then it just prints out. Okay. A better way to do this would be like that. So we know that this is true, right? So this prints out 1 time. We know that 3 minus. Column equals 2. 2 is less than 3. Yes. So we print 1. Right? True. So we print 1. Column 3 minus 1. No. We skip that because we already initialized the column. So column plus 1 is 3. 3 is less than 3 plus row. False. So it's not. Row 1. We're initializing column again. So 2. It's 2 less than 4, which is 3 plus 1. Number plus row number. Yes. We print this out, so this means it's true. So is now that we've increased it, is 3 less than 4? Column plus plus. True. Boom. Now column equals 4 is 4 less than 4. Column plus plus, is it less than 4? False, it's not less than 4. Okay, so now row 1. Column equals 2 is 2 less than, is 2 less than number, which is 3 plus 5. 3 plus 2 equals 5. Column equals 2, column plus plus. So it is, it's true. So now what do? We put true. So we add 1 here. Column equals 3 because we incremented it. 3 minus 5. Column plus plus, since it is true. Increment it. Column equals 4. We've incremented it. 4 is less than 5. True. Column plus plus. True. Cool. We've incremented it. Now column equals 5 is 5 less than 5. False. I think this would be better to just yep. So that's how it's working right now. That's how it's working right now. So now that I have this going on, I need to figure out how to like right now that's all I'm thinking about. Like maybe, I mean, there's two options here. I either create some sort of if statement inside this loop already. So let's say if, like how would I print out? So this would be for hashes. If statement for spaces. If, so what would be a great conditional statement? If how do I say just loop? All right, let me just think this through, guys. For spaces, row 0, we know that we want 1. What the hell? Hold up. So for spaces, I'm gonna just do this first. I'm gonna ignore all this for right now. For spaces, I know that this is what I'm trying to work with here. Num equals 3, right? And I want to work with something where, let's see, row 0. So with row 0, this is what I want to do. I want to do something like this. 3 minus 1 equals 2 spaces. Row 1, 3 minus 2 equals 1 space. Row 2, 3 minus 3 equals 0 spaces. So for column equals, so what is the relation I'm seeing here? For every increment, I want it to be number minus 1 I want to start at 2. I want to then I go 1 and 1, and then I want to say something like, as long as column is less than number, column plus plus. As long as column is less than so okay, so this would be 3, 2, 1. There's gonna come a point where this isn't gonna, okay. Let's just do dots for right now. So what is going to happen here? So let's work this out. Let's work out the algorithm here. So what is for row 0? Num equals 3. Column equals 3 minus 1. Should be 2. 2 minus is 2 less than number, which is 3, minus the row, which is 0. Yes, column plus plus. So what does that mean? We print out 1. Now column equals 3. Next column equals 3 because we already initialized it. Now is 3 less than 2? 3 less than 3 minus 1 equals 2. Yeah. Column plus plus. column 4, column equals 4, is 4 less than 3 minus 2, 3 minus 1, because we haven't really changed shit, we're still in the same, wait, what am I doing? Hold on, I messed up, guys. Give me a second. Let's focus on this one again. So, row 0, focus on row 0. 3 minus 1 is 2. 2 is less than 3 minus row number is true. Okay, so what does that mean? Is 3 less than 3 minus 0, column plus plus, true, because we're still on row 0. Then it's gonna ask me 4, is column 4, is 4 less than 3, column plus, okay, so this is already a mistake. That's not gonna work, and it's not gonna work because this right over here is not changing. So you know subtraction is gonna work. What if we were to do this? Okay, so we know that column equals 3 minus 1, which is 2. Is 2 less than 3 equals the row, 3, column plus plus, this is true. So we print 1. Now this column equals 3, is 3 less than 3 less than 3, column plus plus, false. And we know that's not what we want. So, what if we were to add 1 to the mix? Let's try again. Column equals 3 minus 1 equals 2. Is 2 less than 3 plus 0 plus 1, which equals to 4. Is 2 less than 4? Yes, it is. Column plus plus, true. Okay, so column equals 3. Now is 3 less than 4? Yes, it is. Column plus plus, true. Is 4 less than 4? No, it's not less than 4. False. So it's going to print these two out, and then it's going to print out the hash that we know it's already correct. Okay, row 1. Column equals 3 minus 1 equals to 2. So it's 2 less than 3 plus 1 plus 1, which would be 5. Yes, it's less than 2 is less than 5. Yes, it is less than 5. So now that means true. This 2 is less than 5. 1. Column equals 3. Column equals 3 is 3 less than 5. Yeah, it's less than. Did I just do the same shit I did back here? No, I didn't. It's 5 less than 5 is 3 less than 5. Column plus plus true. Dot. Dot. That's not correct. It's not correct. It's not a correct algorithm. Okay. Back to the drawing board. So what am I noticing here? Unless I start with 1, how? Okay. I'm gonna type in the notes I have right here. So we have spaces. I know for a fact that row 0. So this is what we're aiming for, right? Check this out. We're aiming for something like this. Dot dot dim row 1 dot boom boom row 2 boom boom boom. And that's what we're aiming for. The problem is figuring out the algorithm. As all problems. That's kind of what I'm trying to do right now. So I know that we're starting with 2, and it needs to be some sort of logic that allows me to print a statement 2 times, and by the 3rd try it would be a false Boolean expression. Okay. Let's see here. Let's see here, this little tricky ass problem. Damn, we're already at. We are already at almost 2 hours. Okay. What is going to give me an expression that will print out 2 times for row 0? Let me see. What numbers are in my control? Row, number, and columns. So I want to start off, for sure, I know for a fact that it's this almost like number minus column minus 1. How would this work out? 3 minus 0 minus 1 would be 2 equals 2. Number minus number Give me a second, guys. Let me. I'm thinking. Like, yeah, for sure, if there's anything I want to get out of these videos is that it does not come naturally. Like, this coding shit does not come naturally. I understand it, but I'm for sure struggling on creating the loops, like the logic behind creating certain loops like this. But I know I would get better at this. So one thing I know for sure, like I said, is that I want some sort of algorithm that for row 0, okay. best thing to do when you're in this situation is to, one, not give up, and two, break down every little fucking thing. Like why, for example, right now I'm asking myself, why do I want column to equal number minus 1? And the reason I want it to be minus 1 is because let's say row 0, 3 minus 1, 3 minus 1 equals 2. 2 is less than 3 minus 2, which equals 1. Three minus 1 equals 2. 2 is greater than 3 minus 2 equals 1. True. So what do we do now? We print out a dot. Oh, actually, I'm gonna just fucking put this in here. And writing it down like this has actually been pretty helpful. It makes me see my algorithms a little bit better. Colon minus minus. So 3 minus 1 equals 2 is 2 greater than 3 minus 2, which equals 1. Yes, it's true. Dot. So what do we know? Colon equals 1. Is 1 greater than 3 minus 1, which equals to 2? False. It's not. Oh my god. Why is it not? Dude, nothing is gonna come natural. Nothing is ever gonna come natural when it comes to this. When it comes to hard stuff, y'all, if there's anything I've learned in life, is that nothing comes natural. Row 0, column 3 minus 1 minus 2. 2 is greater than 1. That's true. Column equals 1. Is 1 greater than 2? It's not. So this can't be it because it will. It won't be it because of this reason. Check this out. That's why. It's not. It's not a very efficient algorithm. happen if I don't include the 1? There's 3. Let's see. Column equals 3. Is 3 greater than? What if I were to do 3 less? Column 3 is 3 greater than 3 minus 3. Yeah, because that's fucking 0. Column minus. True. Cool. Column equals 2 is 2 greater than 3 minus 3 minus 2, which equals 1. Column dot dot true. Cool. Column equals, wait, what? 1. Is 1 greater than 3 minus 1? 3 minus 1, which equals 2. Nope. That is false. So it seems like this might be it, but only one way to find out. Let's see. I'm getting there, but fuck. Give me some time. I need a 5-minute break, guys. Give me 5. Give me 5. I'll be back. Alright, I'm back. What was the problem again? Don't even trip. We got this. Alright, let's just delete all these columns here. Comments kind of bugging me. Okay. We're asking the user for a number from 1 through 8. Check. We know that Mario.less. Oh shit. We know that Mario.less prints out the right amount of columns and the right amount of rows. It's just that now we want to make it, besides left indented, right indented. We know that for every row, for spaces, let's say num equals 3, row 0 you know that row 0, no, it's not even row, it's what the fuck, it's column, because we're still in the column, it's not even row. No, you're right, my bad, my fault. Row 0 needs to look like this. Row 1 needs to look like this. And row 2 needs to look like this. So, if there's anything I'm aware of, kind of hurt, scratching right here. Ow, what the hell. Anyways, for the only pattern I see here is that this looks like 3 minus 1 equals dot dot 2. 3 minus 2 equals dot. Then this looks like that. And this looks like nothing. Right? Right? Or am I tripping? Oh my god. Right? Yeah. So this is gonna have to be true. This is gonna have to be true, and this is gonna have to be false. We know that this part right here is not changing, and this would be number. As long as, like, almost as I'm saying something like my Boolean statement is going to do something like, if number is greater than three minus row plus 1 0. Which this would equal to 3 minus row plus 1, which equal to 2. That's true. And let's say we're gonna increment column plus plus. I think I understand what I'm trying to do here. Okay, so for column equals 0, number is greater than column plus 1, column plus plus, printf dot. Let's test this out. So let's test out if my theory works. Row 0, column equals 0, number is greater than 3 is greater than 0 plus 1, which equals 1, column plus plus. This is true. Boom. Column equals 1. 3 is greater than 1 plus 1 equals 2. Column plus plus. This is true. Boom. Column equals 2. 3 is greater than 2 plus 1, which equals 3. False. Stops right here. Okay. Row 1. Column equals 0. 3 is greater than 1. 1 plus 0, which equals to 1. Column plus plus. This is true. We print 1 out. Column equals 1. Is 3 greater than 1 plus 1 equals 2. Column plus plus. True. The problem here is that this condition is not going to work for the following row. It's only going to work for the first one. Damn it, okay. Let's see. Why is this not going to work, Alex? It's because you have to restart right here. This is not. This 0 column plus 1 needs to be a bit to prove my point that this is going to be printing out the same thing all the time, I'm going to just, you see, so let's see what this does. Come on. If -1, how come that did not do anything? That actually complicated it. Whoa, whoa, whoa. What's going on? What's going on? What did I do? Dude. Oh my god. What is this? What the Yo, let me use my shit, bro. What is this, dude? What the fuck? Let me run my shit. What the fuck? Alright. Guess I'm gonna just stop the stream right here, guys. I don't know what's going on with my code spaces right now, but hey, we did progress, and I'll get back to you with the answer. Take care.